Welcome to Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner on Love 860 WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio. Lisa is a writer, producer, and innovative communicator with more than 20 years of experience. Join us as we connect you with inspiring experts and entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Your comments and questions are welcome during the broadcast. Call us live on the air at 404-355-8699. That's 404-355-8699. Now, here's Lisa Faulkner.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Game Changers with me, Lisa Faulkner, and some pretty hot guests today. Thank you for your continued support and all of your encouragement that I get. I love you listening. I love you connecting. Follow me on Facebook at Lisa M. Faulkner, LinkedIn Lisa Faulkner, on Twitter at PenStarLisa, Instagram and Pinterest. You may find me at PenStarLisa as well. I will check your comments there and continue to connect with you. I love making new friends every week. So thank you for continuing to listen and connect with me. Next week on Game Changers, we're going to have Jack Engelhard, the author of The Indecent Proposal. You remember that blockbuster movie? Well, he is the author of the book. It was a book first, and he's going to come along and give us some really blockbuster writing tips, along with another writer as well. But I want to get to today because we have a wonderful show on tap. Our first guest, I just got done telling him his resume is as long. I was thinking my arm and then I was thinking my body. I was so taken by all of his wonderful body of work, all of the great information out there on him. He is known as the ambassador of soul. Ellis Hall, y'all. On June 14th, he was honored with the Georgia Music Awards 2014 Lifetime Achievement Award, and you will soon learn why. Also during that time here in Georgia, Ellis was also awarded proclamations from the cities of Atlanta, Claxton, which is his hometown, which he wrote a song in honor of, by the way. He also received a proclamation from McDonough, Georgia, for his commemoration on Black Music Month and his celebration of the state during his International Symphony that you're going to learn more about. Just a whole host. I can't even get to it all. I know we won't get to it all, but you need to plug this man into Google, Ellis Hall, and learn all of the great things about him, including his rendition of Georgia on My Mind. He performed at Centennial Park on yesterday. Yay. Independence Day. He's also considered the protege of Ray Charles. With him is his wife and manager, who I just fell in love with over the phone just from our first conversation. She fondly explained to me that Ellis is the only artist signed to Ray Charles's label, Crossover Records. Ellis is a master of the guitar, bass, piano, keyboards, and drums. Hall has also made a mark as an incredible songwriter, arranger, and producer. The list goes on and on, y'all, but today he makes an indelible mark in my heart and in my memory for joining us here on Game Changers. Welcome, Ellis Hall.
Hello, Miss Lisa. Soul in the house.
Soul in the house. How do we say it, sir? Shaka-laka?
Nah, that's triple. Shaka-laka. That's C-H, right? Shaka-laka.
I love
Means
it.
joyous, absolutely.
I love it. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Wifager. Is that what you're called?
That's what I call it.
You get on the mic. Join us.
There she is.
Hello, everybody. This is Layala Hall, and she is a wonder to behold as well.
Go Layala J Management. Come on now.
I'm certain she is the apple of Ellis Hall's eye.
Absolutely.
Now let's get right to that because Mrs. Hall is telling me that.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I love it.
Some people kind of skate around the fact about your site, but
yes.
Let's just tell the audience how you began changing the game at an early age in your life, having been diagnosed with glaucoma at birth, I believe, and eventually losing sight in your right eye and being told that you were going to lose it in your left eye as well.
Yes.
And despite all of your family's efforts, deterioration set in. But to beat the odds and to beat what was happening to you, you started practicing your instruments in the dark.
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that correct?
That is correct.
Tell us more about that.
What's very interesting is very early in my life, I had to learn how to be the essential poster boy of perseverance, persistence, and determination.
Yes, sir.
So a year into my life, my mom and dad realized that the hospital that I went to in Georgia, be it Savannah, and in Claxton also, they did not put the silver nitrate in my eyes. They didn't know really maybe they knew, but they didn't have the resources to get to. So a year into my life, my eyes from brown turned blue, which is why my lovely one just sang Brown Eyes Blue. So what my parents decided is they researched and found Perkins School for the Blind in Watertown. And they said we should move up to Boston. So that's where I moved up to. And they taught us a little bit of music. But it wasn't until I was 14 that I snuck into a club. My mom found out later. And I saw the looks on the faces of the band as they were whipping the audience into shape. And a light bulb literally went off in my head. That's what I was supposed to do.
That's what you were supposed to do.
So later, I've been on that journey and holding on tight.
What a wonderful journey.
Yes.
Now, sir, I love that you say you're not disabled, but you're just differently able.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that.
Well, you know what?
That's a game changer statement.
Come on now. Nothing stops us but us. And when I talk to the kids, I tell them, whatever you're going to do, if you love it, you never work a day in your life. But also, make it fun. Practice. It's going to take practice. All these kids today want things instantly. And you got all these tools, which are tools. But when you replace the real thing with tools, that's what you have, is a lot of music that comes in one ear and goes out the other.
That's right.
So I say, hold on to a melody. A melody will last you forever. And it's sometimes nice to add a but you got to have the melody on top of it.
That's beautiful. What about masters of their craft? Do you think there are, who are some of the real masters of the music craft out there now? I know that you've performed with a lot of the greats like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, yes.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
we won't even get to, oh my gosh.
Everyone from James Taylor to
George Benson, Herbie Hancock.
Oh my gosh.
Who are some of those masters now, would you say, those, sir?
Some of the masters that are coming up are Neo. I love Neo's flavor. He's serious about his music. I haven't met him yet. I'm sure I will. Justin Timberlake is doing his best to keep the music alive, the soul alive. And, all of these guys who really dive in and learn about a song and craft the song.
Yes, sir.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
You do, because you've done that with so many of your selections. Now, here is where we want to get to the goods, or some more of the goods. You met and worked with the legendary Ray Charles, as I mentioned in your intro.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that. Just a snippet of that, just to give us a little bit of that honor, if you will.
Well, those who go to EllisHall.com will find a plethora, how about that for a word, of videos.
I like that word.
Of videos, including Ellis Hall and Jamie Foxx on the Ray set. And Jamie earned that Oscar. And Ray, when he saw me, now ironically, the song I'm playing with my group as he saw me was I Can See Clearly Now.
Wow.
And when he was in the audience, my production manager grabbed me at the keyboard and said, "Hey, Mr. Charles is in the audience and he wants to meet you right now." So we're running off the stage acting like two kids, two fools.
I guess
almost breaking our necks to get off the stage. He gave me a hug. I gave him a CD. He called me up the next day and said, "Boy, I hadn't heard of you. I'm going to have to kick some serious. Who are you? Who in the heck are you? I've never heard of you. Oh, man, you just were killing me. You got so much music in you. It's scary."
Oh, my gosh.
And it's like, my heavens, at the explosion of his energy to let me know he wanted to work with me.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
what an honor it was to work with him.
What a moment.
And I tell folks at the symphony, I love telling this, is that what happens when Ray Charles and, God bless him, crazy Stevie Wonder go out and take driving lessons, crash into each other, and I pop out.
Yes. I love that.
So I don't know whether they're saying, "Oh, I got a woman," or "Is it you lovely?" But either way, I can't lose.
Beautiful. Now, you have been coined Ray Charles's protege.
Yes.
You fondly referred to him as Papa Ray.
Yes, I do.
And you created a show in his honor called A Tribute to Ray.
Well, actually, we call it and I love this, that people have embraced the soul and beyond. It's Ellis Hall presents Ray, Motown, and Beyond. And we're going to do our best to bring it to Atlanta.
I was going to say, how can we see this show?
Yeah, there's some snippets online, but it ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Don't get me started.
I was going to say, is this where we let wife
see, there you go.
Tell us where we can see the symphony.
Actually, what we're doing now, I'm in conversations with the Atlanta Pops Symphony.
Okay.
Having Ellis come in the 2015 season.
Okay.
And this year we will be doing the San Diego Symphony Orchestra on the 1st and 2nd of August.
Wow.
And of course, Ellis, and one of the things you'll know is that Ellis headlined the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. on New Year's Eve with the National Symphony Orchestra. So the show is a wonderful, wonderful show. It does do a tribute to Ray in the course of it, but many people say it's a tribute to Ray, or they say, well, is he a Ray Charles impersonator?
No.
But he's not. He actually, everything that he does, he fondly calls it, he Ellisizes each and every song. So you're not hearing, even though it's the same song, you're not hearing that person. You're hearing Ellis Hall, who is an absolute genius. And when it comes down to saying that he's the protege of Ray Charles, we say that he is the declared protege of Ray Charles, because it is something that has been documented in writing, and it was also documented in video when Ellis was asked to perform in Ray's stead when Ray was given the Visionary Award at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. And the introduction was done by Ray's manager.
Amazing.
Joe Adams,
Joe Adams.
When you come back for the symphony, you're gonna kick off the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra here at Game Changers. You got to come back.
Oh yeah, we'll come back and talk to you.
Now, sir, you are also quoted as saying that you spent a lot of time working on this ambassadorship that they have coined you with. You are the ambassador of soul.
Yes, ma'am.
What does that really mean, or what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Well, essentially what it means is every day that I'm on that stage, I perform like it's my last time. And my one mantra is to make sure that anybody who's within the sound of my voice or my guitar, to make sure that I lift your day, that I take whatever you're feeling, if it's not quite right, to make it feel so that your toes get to tapping. I'm going to tell you, Miss Lisa, that our shows come with a warning label.
Okay.
Don't hold it inside or you could hurt yourself. Okay? You understand? Ken's over there laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. I get on stage and I act a fool, F-O-O apostrophe, okay? So hold on tight, keep your hands inside the cart. We're going for a ride.
I love it. How was your performance yesterday?
Well, let me tell you, the first two we did was Proud to Be an American.
Okay.
Now, my friend Lee Greenwood, I'm honored to call him a friend.
Okay.
Brilliant song. And there's a certain part of the song that I hold this humongous note. Pay no attention to the man who's up there black and blue after that long note. I was raising my hands, and I told my lovely bride / wife at Jared that I could feel, if there was a roof on, the roof was coming off, because I could feel the whole park area expanding when I was holding that note. And I put my hands up in the air. I stood up and just held that note.
Wow.
And just let it vibrate all over Atlanta. And beyond. And that's what it is. And then I had everybody singing, because I'm an original California raisin. I'm proud of it. That's right.
Now, you've performed here in Atlanta before, or in Georgia, because you're from Claxton, Georgia, right?
Yeah, well, yes, born in Savannah, raised in Claxton.
Okay.
But I had never, up until 2010, I had never performed in Georgia.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And folks really didn't know about me until this month, when we did the we call it the My Georgia State of Mind tour, where people are aware and the branding of the Ellis Hall Ambassadorship of Soul.
Okay.
You know, and every place we went, in fact, we did a thing at a place called Cafe 290.
Okay.
And some buddies of ours, new buddies called Bumpin' the Mango, they had their Tower of Power tribute band. They had me come and sing. And, of course, I worked with the group Tower of Power, lead vocalist and keyboardist. So we definitely tore the roof off that place.
Sir, you are just a star of so many things. You've been numerous film soundtracks, including The Lion King.
Lion King too.
I mean, Chicken Run. I was telling your wife when we talked, I did a paper on Chicken Run in grad school. It was so funny.
Really
we had to watch that movie and write a paper around the organizational dynamics of Chicken Run, because you can remember there were really some organizational dynamics there. But
I got to tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
A funny story is my late wife Karen. The one thing she noticed when they animated the chickens, she said, "Oh my God, the chickens have teeth." Now, when you're doing animation and stuff to recreate the details of those things, it's amazing. And then when I went in and performed the song, the director of the music, Mr. John Powell, great composer.
Okay.
He was so enamored with what I did.
Oh, wow.
They put it in the movie twice.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know until we finished. But he was literally swearing outside the booth because he couldn't stand the energy and the intensity of how I was singing the song. I said, okay, we're going to go and lovingly take your face off.
Amen. I tell your wife, I've got to go back and watch that movie.
Oh, yeah.
So many movies.
Yeah.
People just need to plug him in. Ellis Hall, he's a wonder. Big Mama's House, Catch Me If You Can. I love both of those.
Oh, they were fun.
You know, you also served as an advisor to Jamie Foxx on the set of Ray.
On the movie Ray.
Yeah. How does that all happen?
Well,
is it positioning, good management, good wifeager? What was it?
No, I didn't really have. I've had managers and I've had as my friend Larry Dunn, managers. Okay. So I've had all of that. At the time that I was consulting and working with Ray, I didn't have a manager. So I was just doing it, and people just call me. Some of the heads of the movie theater, houses, they call me, like DreamWorks and Sony, and ask me to do a song or whatever. And how honored I am that they trust my judgment to bring what they need.
Wow.
But when I was on the set with JV, he told me about this. He said, I got so much into the character. One time we were doing a heavy scene and we were breaking for lunch. And of course he had these prosthetics in where he couldn't see. Literally, it's like contacts that were blacked out. So he's sitting there at the table expecting someone to take him to lunch. And all he says, "Hey, y'all forgot me here. Anybody out there?" It was hilarious. And Jamie, of course, he's a crazy crack-up comedian.
Oh, my gosh. That is something.
Yeah.
Now, you have performed for Oprah.
Yes.
The Kennedys.
Yes.
Mandela.
Yes.
And you're on your way to do something else for Mandela.
Yes, we are.
What are you doing?
We're working on a song, Celebrate Mandela. And I tell you, Miss Lisa, when you hear the song, it will make you... It will make you, one, think about his spirit, but two, feel the driving force of the drum.
Oh, my
and it's
gosh.
just intense.
I bet. So I have to ask, and we're getting ready to go into break, but would you just sing us something into break? Just sing for us today while you're here on Game Changers?
Well, since you did your paper, let's see. When I get the blues, gonna get me rockin' chair. When I get the blues, gonna get me rockin' chair. When the blues overtake me, gonna walk on away from here.
I love it.
Flip, flop, and fly. I don't care about that. Flip, flop, and fly. I don't care about that. Don't ever leave, don't ever say goodbye. Don't ever leave me, don't ever say goodbye.
Oh my gosh. Do you get this at home? Does he sing you? Are we going into break now, Sheldon? We'll be right back, y'all. I know you'll keep listening. Do you need need someone with solid, expert communications experience to write your copy or your next press release? Then you need PennStar Communications. Let PennStar communicate your greatest potential with clear copy written for your business and marketing needs. Whether it's your next event or next campaign, PennStar Communications can write that for you. Visit pennstar.org or call 404-828-0287 today.
With an industry-leading distribution network, Grainger can save you tons of downtime by offering over 900,000 products, many ready to ship right when you need them. In fact, 99% of items ordered ship same day. So fast, the International Acronym Committee is considering changing ASAP to ASAG for as soon as Grainger. At least they would be considering it if there were such a committee. To help keep your business running efficiently, call clickgrainger.com or stop by a branch today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Just an old sweet song. Still on my
That is beautiful. I am certain that y'all enjoyed him leaving for the break and listen to that music underneath. Oh, that's a beautiful rendition.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so sorry I have to let y'all go today. I have so enjoyed having you here. Tell the listening audience what you want them to know and where they can find you next, sir.
Well, first, where they can find me is ellishall.com. You can go there to find things. But we are on Instagram, and I believe that's Ellis Hall Music. You can go to Twitter, that's Ellis Hall 1056. And on Facebook, please be my friend, at official Ellis Hall.
Excellent.
And what I'd love people to know, on June 11th and 12th, we'll be performing in Salt Lake City at the Salt Lake City International Jazz Fest. Although I call it International Jazz and Soul Fest. And then August 1st and 2nd, we will be with the San Diego Pops in San Diego Under the Stars, performing Ellis Hall Presents Ray, Motown, and Beyond. So come see us, tell friends about us, follow us, and honored to be the vessel to help y'all feel chocolate good.
Oh my goodness. And you do that so well, Mr. Hall.
Thank you
so much for your time today.
Thank you, Miss Lisa. We'll hope to see you soon. Brother Ken,
Yes,
I see you
sir.
smiling over there.
All right, guys. That is a wonderful, wonderful interview. So thank you for joining us, Layala. Thank you for bringing him in. You all are a sincere pleasure. Please come back to see me. Well, we got to move on. Just keep the music playing underneath. That's beautiful the way you're doing that, Sheldon. While I make the next introduction, Laura Brown is coming up. She has ever made it her mission to provide financial empowerment to individuals and entrepreneurs. As founder of J. Stevens and Associates and Laura Brown Enterprises, her active practice focuses on strategies for growing businesses and financial empowerment. An advisor to many large and small companies, Laura also acts as a passionate advocate for families, women, and adolescents. Let us please welcome Laura Brown to Game Changers to empower women and the listeners for this segment. Welcome, Laura.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it is my sincere pleasure. Thank you for joining us. I know you're busy, so I appreciate you stopping by Game Changers. Now, Laura, you really have a passion to help others, and I believe it stems from your own story. So just tell us a little bit about your background and how you became an advisor to so many in the financial empowerment realm, if you will.
Well, I was in credit card debt. I was facing economic hardships due to my own mismanagement of money, student loans, you name it, repossessions, being evicted. And so all of this time, I was had a degree in accounting, managing other people's money, but was not able to manage my own money effectively.
Wow, isn't that amazing that you were in that industry and yet struggled with managing your own finances? Now, I know you were a teen mother and a single mother at one point. Do you have opportunities to serve like girls and women in those same predicaments? Or how does that factor into your getting where you were? I mean, I know you decided to just take charge of that situation and still make the best of things.
Yes, I did. My grandmother always pushed me and always told me that, that wasn't an excuse, that you could do anything that you set your mind to, and that if God was on your side, you could achieve anything.
Excellent.
So that is one of my passions on giving back to young teenage girls, because when society has written us off and it says that we're not going any further, I still want them to know that you can be who and whatever it is that you want to be. You just have to be determined and persistent to pursue your dreams and goals.
Yes, ma'am. You're speaking now. Now, Laura, out of those less than desirable circumstances, you put yourself through school and later acquired your master's degree. And I understand it sounds like you're saying you had encouragement along the way, people to continue to tell you that you could do it. But I ask that because I believe that New Life sometimes binds women to their circumstance and a baby, trying to sustain that new life. How did you see a way to take care of your child as well as invest in yourself? Where did you have help, or tell us about that experience?
Yes, I did. I knew that, and there's nothing wrong with McDonald's, but I just knew that that was not the future that I wanted for myself or my children. And so my grandmother did help me. The number one thing she did do, she watched my children as I pursued school, even before she passed away, and I was working on my master's. That is one of the things that she helped with my kids.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I did have that strong support from her, and then, a couple other family members and friends that were like, you are smart, go and do this.
Oh, wow. I love that. You worked for J.P. Morgan Chase. You served as CFO for the Urban Alternative. That's a national ministry of Dr. Tony Evans. I love Tony Evans. I love international broadcast ministries anyway. But I know about the work inside of those corporates and ministry. I know the latter, that can be challenging in a lot of ways, meaning it's corporate and it's ministry. So tell us about your experiences inside of those walls, and where do you believe you had the biggest impact, or maybe lack thereof? I don't know. Is that why you went independent? Tell us a little bit about those experiences inside of corporate and ministry.
Corporate is just like everyone says, you can live the dream. The quicker that you progress, you can go up the ladder, but that also means sacrifices. And the same thing as ministry. People think because it's the church that we don't treat it as a business, and that's the number one place that I was able to, succeed, because I had the business mindset, even though I had the heart of ministry. And so those can be very challenging. It is times that in those ministries that we are going around the world traveling. So that means there's time away from your family. That means if there's productions put on, like, for instance, conferences and things like that, then there's a whole week that we are not at home with our family, that we stay in hotels or wherever. So that means sacrificing.
Exactly.
Giving up those things. But for me, it was such a great enjoyment because it led me to my next chapter of my life, going independent, being able to start my business, being able to consult with other, companies, seeing the smaller companies who want to be at the Fortune 500 level, of how to maximize everything that you have and strategize and get there. Goal setting. So, that would be my only downside. It's just like corporate America. When I began to travel in J.P. Morgan Chase, I was gone from home for a month. doing training for each series every time I progressed in the company.
Got it. Yes, no, I totally concur. I worked in a broadcast ministry for nearly 10 years, and like you said, people continue to confuse it with the church. They didn't realize that it was as big a corporation as any Fortune 500, and that's where I exerted most of my business experience as well, and was able to climb up the ladder and learn more there as far as management and organizational life is concerned than anywhere else I had worked. Now, you have events here in Atlanta a lot, but you live in Texas. Tell us your connection to Atlanta and why you have decided to do a lot of work here.
I have decided to do a lot of work. Atlanta is the entrepreneur capital, I say. It is the fastest woman-owned area for top women CEOs. And so there are a lot of women who seek the advice of consulting, or those that have organizations. There's various women organizations that I work with, and so they asked me to come out and do a lot of training, a lot of teaching, and so I'm always happy to travel and, do my first love, which is training.
I love that. And you are going to participate in the Atlanta Gospel Fest coming up here in August 1st and 2nd. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You will be a workshop facilitator?
Yes, I will. I'll be teaching on capital, how to obtain your capital.
Now, among your topics that you teach on, you teach about setting financial goals. What does that mean exactly, Laura, setting a financial goal?
Basically, it means that even in your business or your personal life, that you need to have some type of goal, know where you're going, and make sure that it's measurable. Make sure that it's realistic. And within that goal, the money that's coming in and the money that's going out, that will help you to minimize wasting.
Now, how does one separate their personal finances from their business finances? I mean, what are the practical steps around doing that? I know that's one of the things you advise on.
The number one thing, whenever you think about starting a business, you need to start a business bank account. Whatever your name is, file for your DBA and take it to the bank and open up a bank account. That's the number one thing I suggest, because one of the things what you don't want to happen is that you have your business money and your personal finances together, because that opens a room for audits. It's just good practice that you segregate the two. And then, there's a legal entity. If you're a corporation, they require that you must separate those two.
Wow. That's good. That's good information. And then, of course, you ascribe to the age-old financial adage to create a budget. I mean, how do you get people excited about that, or what spurs them to really take this step? I have to mention, when I had my brother on here, he's a bit of a financial expert as well, and I was telling him, I don't really enjoy some of these practical steps around around managing your money. And he said something that was pretty sobering. He said, it's your money. I mean, it's your money. So, but how do you really spur people into action and actually get excited about creating a budget, something as simple as that?
I always tell them, look at what's going out. One of the things, I have a tool that I look at that we download into a Excel spreadsheet, and it'll give a pie chart. So people tend to be very visual. Either they want graphs or pie charts. Numbers, sometimes if you're not a number person, will work. So once we do that, then I start showing them the areas of where they're spending excess money. Because the number one thing that happens is, and I'm sure you've done this a lot, you'll say, man, where did all my money go? And then you'll start thinking.
No, that's never happened to me. Yes, it has, Laura. Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Yeah, they'll say, where did all my money go? I just had this on Friday. Today is Sunday. And so whenever you show them those type of tools, then they begin to see all the spending habits that they have assigned and how much money that they tend to be losing. Because one of the things that has happened in this day and time is, I love this term, we are a microwave generation. We want it now.
That's
So
right.
we tend to have debit cards. We're no longer writing checks and recording them in the checkbook, but some of us have the bad habits where we just be writing and not recording. So we just swipe the debit card until it says declined. So this way, you know, you can know how much money you actually have. Or sometimes we have people who will check their apps every day, but they just look at the balance. So today, if the balance says $525, and then tomorrow it says $120, they're like, ooh, what happened? Not knowing that they set up for automatic bank withdrawals, you know, just not knowing that I went to Starbucks, I swiped my card this morning, it was $5.65. I went to lunch, it was $15, and then I went here and bought another Starbucks. So those type of things add up, and before you know it, you've exhausted more money than you ever thought about.
That's right. That is good. That's good. Now, Laura, you have been featured in several women's magazines, and you have a lot of press on the web. But what is the real message that you're putting out there? What do you want women to really grasp about their finances? And I say women because I think that's your focus, isn't it? Or your target audience, if you will, or target market.
I really want women to have a healthy relationship with money, for you not to be afraid of money and think that money is bad, but just to really have a healthy relationship with money, because sometimes there's some things that are inside of us that tend to prompt our spending habits, whether it's in business or in our personal lives.
Wow.
The decisions that we make. So my main goal is just to educate women about money and to help you find the resources that you need to have that relationship.
And I bet you do it well. It certainly sounds like you are presenting the subject matter in a real proficient way here today. I hope that I will be able to take in one of your workshops or conferences coming up soon here in Atlanta. I've connected with you on social media, and I am so happy that you took time to share with us today on Game Changers. In closing, Laura, what would you like to share with the listening audience?
I would just like to share with them that if they want more information about me, they can go to my website, which is www.LauraBrown.net. They can find me on Instagram, Laura Brown, Twitter, Laura Brown, and my Facebook page, which is Laura Brown.
Perfect. I thank you.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
My next guest, Sheldon, do we have to break or can we go right to our next guest? Alrighty, the next guest is Kiara Fleece. Kiara Fleece says her greatest joy and purpose is uplifting and supporting everyone she meets on their life journey. Self-love is a topic that is underrated and oh so important to living a fulfilling life, Kiara advises. She spends her time life coaching, blogging, writing, and chatting with people who uplift her soul even. Kiara lives the motto, love yourself, respect yourself, create yourself, be yourself. I love it, especially coming from a young woman, and I just had to have her on Game Changers just to hopefully help change the game for some of those other young peers out there who are suffering with self-doubt and hatred, even self-hatred we so often find among our young people, and as Kiara will so eloquently explain, among humans in general. Welcome to Game Changers, Kiara Fleece.
Hi.
How are you doing, young lady?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing super. I am well. Every time I say or hear or think your name, Fleece, I think about the Bible story. I can't remember which book it was in, but it was Gideon. And he kept wanting the Lord to do these tricks with this fleece that he laid out overnight. And first he wanted the Lord to make the fleece wet when he woke up in the morning. So the Lord did that. And then he wanted to have him dry. And so anyway, I deter. But I do. I think about that Bible story every time I say your name.
You can't tell him what to do.
But the Lord did it. He did it all the way down to everything He requested. Anyway, that shows you what knuckleheads we could be. Kiara, why is it your strongest desire to increase the knowledge base and understanding around self-love? Why is that so important for you?
Well, I struggled with it for a little while, and it's so hard for me to say it like that because I'm 24. If you didn't know,
well, I knew that you were a young lady. I didn't know your exact age. Mm-hmm.
So my father always kind of reminds me. So it's hard for me to say. For a long time I struggled with, but I struggled with self-love for a while, and when I realized, okay, so I guess it has something to do with dating. I personally haven't dated anyone in a long while.
Okay.
And for a while, I felt I was looking for love, in someone else. Mm-hmm. And it took clicking and realizing that you're not even doing it for yourself. How could someone come up to you and want to love you when they can tell, whether or not they know it, that you're not loving yourself, you're not giving those feelings to yourself or taking care of yourself? So why are they going to come and, take on that job? And that's too much to put on another person, too.
It sure is.
The entire love of you.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of love.
That's a lot. And you're not doing anything yourself. That's lazy.
Oh gosh, I just love this subject matter. If we could just articulate how important it is. We're not talking about silly vanity or silly pride. We're talking about pure self-love. Is that right, Kiara?
Oh, yes. Thank you for saying it. It's so hard to talk about it sometimes because someone say, well, too much self-love could be arrogance. And I'm like,
no.
Love is not the same thing as arrogance. Arrogance is more in, it's in a completely different category. Mm-hmm. Love is pure, and love is, it's kind and it's hopeful. When you love someone, you care about them and you do anything for them. But if you compare self-love to just outer love to someone else, arrogance is more like a possession.
Yes.
Of someone, feeling like you possess someone, and you do that with yourself.
Kiara, how do you find the opportunities to coach others into understanding what you call their amazing and unique abilities? How do those opportunities come your way?
Well, right now, as a life, I started training as a life coach very recently, maybe in November. And
good for you! Congratulations!
Thank you. And I started taking on clients in about February. Mm-hmm. And because people my age usually aren't working on themselves. All of my clients, I think my youngest client is in their 30s. So most of my clients are much older than me. But
wow.
What a life coach does, some people don't understand what it is because it's it's an obscure thing. I don't expect them to. Mm-hmm. But it would seem like that's the person who's giving you advice and who's telling you what to do with your life. But that's not even close to what I do. When I talk to people, they are the experts on their own life. What I do is give them the space to be able to talk about what's going on in their life and reflect back to them what's happening.
That's good. I love they are the experts of their own life. That kind of gets into that whole designing your own life, as you say.
There's no way I can possibly know everything about their life. I mean, some of mine are teachers. Some of my clients are teachers. I've had a client in Toronto who's I don't even know. He's a business person. And they tell me about their life, and I ask them questions to help them think more about their own life.
Now, you say that most people don't know how powerful and unique we really are. How do they see that? How do you see that uniqueness and power in others in ways that allows them to see the same gifts? Is that it? You open them up to them. How do you open them up to themselves? You just allow them to talk through the process?
Well, say someone is completely down on themselves and they're talking about it. They're saying, man, I am so bad at talking to people. And you can, first of all, you can just give them the space, and you can ask them what makes you think that, and let them really vent it out. And then you can ask them a powerful question like, is that true? Is that really true? And you know if they are going to say, they can't say with 100% certainty that that's true. And it's never true.
Wow.
You're talking to me, and if they say it's true, then I can just ask them for examples and tell them, explain to me why it's true. And it just completely takes it off of its... Because a lot of times we're just saying these things. We're saying these things, and we kind of think them, but I've never seen somebody with complete conviction down on themselves. They have the same symptoms as someone who's lying, the same tics. They're like, look, they can't look you straight in the eye. They can't do these because they're lying about the fact that they're bad at something. And so all you have to do is just knock them off. Well, all you have to do. It's not that easy, but you have to knock that lie out. Knock it off of its foundation, and then they have to believe that they're awesome because they are.
Exactly. We're all pretty awesome in our own way, aren't we?
We all have something.
I'm not saying something.
Everyone's not going to be in the NBA. Everybody's not going to be, a life coach, or everybody's not going to be whatever. But everyone, I don't care what you have, what kind of personality disorder, blah, 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 you have something.
Kiara,
something that no one else can do.
Yes, I would agree. God has gifted and talented us all in very unique ways. While we all may have some of the same gifts and talents, we can use them differently and different things and people at different times. So there's always an opportunity for our light to shine. Kiara, you have a blog and Awakening Your Light. Love that. Love the name of that. And I read your book, Loving Me, which is on Amazon for an amazing 99 cents. So you all can get it right now. But the whole essence of that book is loving yourself. And as I said before, it's not perfection, or maybe I didn't, but I read in your book, we're not talking about perfection. Instead, it's actually accepting all of our flaws and mistakes and still realizing the beauty in ourselves, or that is in each of us. Is that right? Is that the whole premise behind your book?
That's where it came from for me. I can't say I'm even perfect or that the book is perfect, but I know that there's something in every person, and you are a product, and you were made the way you were for whatever reason that is. And no one can accept you as much as you, because no one knows. No one was there every single second of your life. And if you treat yourself in a way that you would never let someone treat you, and you're hanging with yourself all day, all day you have a negative, mean person hanging out with you.
Oh, my goodness.
What the heck?
That's no fun. Well, I think Go ahead, Kiara.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's miserable to be around someone who constantly critiques everything you do. If you trip over a rock, wow, you're so clumsy. Instead of just being like, that rock was there, and it was funny how I could, play that off.
I do think the book is pretty darn perfect. It's pretty close to perfect. Got some pretty profound ways of thinking and being coming from such a young woman. If this is your first work, then I want to follow the rest of them. You talk about personal bullies, and we're our own personal bullies. You said their names can be self-doubt, self-loathing, self-conditioning, fear, and many others. And then you talk about this was smart, girl. I like this. You said to reassign your bullies. Talk about that, because you talk about the self-doubt, even, for example, is the one you gave the example of. It may be bad, but we can turn it for good. Go ahead, Kiara.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you're doing it in a bad reason. You don't have a bad reason for wanting to do it. So when you're doubting yourself, you're not doing it because it's like your friend who well-meaningly tells you, I'm not sure if you can do that. That doesn't seem like they're well-meaning. They don't want to hurt you, but they're trying to help you. So self-doubt, you can help self-doubt to help you. So you can just change your thinking about it. So self-doubt can change to, I forgot what I even put as my example.
Let me tell him. You said help self-doubt to help you. You said help, because I was giggling. I'm just going to repeat it. Help self-doubt to help you by asking it to become self-awareness. With a little guidance, self-doubt can start to help you understand how you can react to the world and help you keep track of the stakes in any given situation. That was really a good, smart turn on self-doubt and reassigning all of those bullies, self-bullies as you call them, because we all have them.
I have them every day.
I know.
I'm having them right now even. I'm like, what are you talking
Yeah, you're forgetting what you wrote, Kiara. Come on now.
No, I love it. I mean, it's no one's ever going to get it perfect, but to be aware of what's going on in your life and the way things are happening. Because if you're not even aware of these things, some people think of them as kind of woo-woo or out there things. It's not concrete. And luckily, I have one of those. Well, luckily for me, I guess I have one of those brains that the concrete is like my least, and I'm more out there and liking to think about abstract subjects.
I love it.
And so these things are at home for me. But being aware of the fact that you're talking to yourself in a really rude way, and if you're doing it to yourself, sometimes it leaks out to others. So if you're aware of it, then you can start making changes. If you're aware, and self-doubt can become self-awareness because it's the same principle. They're coming from the same hope that you are going to be successful in life. But awareness is much more helpful to you because you can be aware of the fact that yes, I can't shoot free throws right now.
That's
but
good.
If I do this, and this, I will be able to. Instead of doubting yourself and saying, I can't shoot free throws, but I can't be a basketball player. And I should just stop doing that.
I mean, that's pretty profound. I really love it. And I think you should just keep sharing that. Read your book again, Kiara.
No, seriously, you're right.
No, ma'am, you're good. I am so enjoying you. And you also say that life is an open book test, that our intuition has all of the answers. I love that. I think that's so true. So often, if we had just followed that, what we call that first mind or that knowing, then, the situation maybe would have turned out differently. No, you're supposed to respond to that, Kiara.
Oh.
What do you think about what you say at live being? That's okay, sweetie. I might be one of your first interviews, but you're going to be a pro after this.
Right, seriously. So
you said our intuition has all the answers.
Yeah, so when it happens all the time when you're doing things, and almost every time there's something that's, what's right and you know what's wrong. And it's hard to even pinpoint and tell somebody how to figure that out. But there's times where there's no evidence, there's nothing, but you know that it's just not right. You know something is just not working for you, and you don't want to go there. And those times that you ignore that and go, you're always like, man, I knew I wasn't supposed to do that. And it's hard to know exactly where it comes from, but when you listen more, you're going to hear more what's going on in your intuition, or it could be coming from above. But we all, it's something is telling you exactly what to do.
I agree.
And no one can tell you more than yourself what you know. So some people advise me. I have gotten a degree in music education because when I was 18, I wanted to be a music educator. But now I feel so pulled to be self-employed. And my same skills that make me a good educator. I'm a great educator, and I've been told that I'm great for a 24-year-old, fresh out of college little, wannabe. I'm very good with people.
You are very good. Yes, you are very good indeed. You all get the book. What is it? Loving Me, correct? Is that correct? Okay.
Loving Me.
Perfect. Now, would you say this book is the beginning of helping others begin to design their own life, as you say? Is this a good self-help book for that?
Definitely. It's more of a workbook, and I'm even wanting to edit it to give it more of a workbook feel, because it's something that someone can use as a tool. So it's not really telling anyone what to do, but it's just giving them places to go from and things to think about, questions to ask themselves.
I would agree. It's a great little read, great prompter, helps you think through a lot of things that we need to kind of propel ourselves to the next level and realize all of the greatness inside. In closing, Kiara, what would you like to tell the listening audience?
I would like to tell them that, you're amazing, and you need to own up to that.
Perfect. Where can they find you?
They can find me at awakeningyourlight.com, or on Twitter, I am Old Soul YNGHRT. So Old Soul Young Heart. And on Facebook, I have a Awakening Your Light fan page.
Perfect. Thank you for joining Game Changers today. You are indeed a game changer, and I hope that you continue changing the game for yourself and others.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
It's been my sincere pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Well, my motivational minute after listening to these guests and sharing the hour with their magnificent minds is, if they can do it and become the successes that they were meant to be, we can all do it. And we do not have to waste any time. Let's get to it. Let's not listen to the naysayers, allow the noise and the online distractions to stop us. The next thing you should stop for should be in 6 days and 23 hours. And that's right back here with Game Changers and me. So thank you so much for joining. Let's go, Game Changers. Again, I'll talk to you in 6:23. Until then, do your best. Someone with solid, expert communications experience to write your copy or your next press release? Then you need Penstar Communications. Let Penstar communicate your greatest potential with clear copy written for your business and marketing needs. Whether it's your next event or next campaign, Penstar Communications can write that for you. Visit penstar.org or call 404-828-0287 today.
Thank you for listening to Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner. For more details about anything discussed on the program, go online to www.penstar.org. That's PENSTAR.org. And be sure to follow Lisa on social media. On Facebook, look for Lisa M. Faulkner and follow Penstar Lisa on Twitter and Instagram. And join us every week at this same time for Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner right here on Love 860 WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio.